Hey everybody, this is Matthew Charles Cardinale, CBAC member and citizen advocate. This week I helped to launch a new nonprofit organization whose first task is to get affordable housing impact statements adopted in 10 U.S. cities and counties by 2018. Atlanta makes one, so we have 9 to go. And as a progressive alternative to ALEC, we are offering a transparent grassroots approach to policymaking, and we're calling it SMART ALEC, which stands for State and Municipal Action for Results Today, Agenda for Legislative Empowerment and Collaboration. I asked the clerk to distribute to you all a sample affordable housing impact statement that I prepared for Multnomah County that analyzes the Home for Everyone $3 million budget allocation for affordable housing. I've been speaking with you all in recent weeks about what these impact statements are, how they came about, how they can bring transparency to our budget decisions. Because seeing is believing, I decided to simply write one up so you could see what it is I'm actually talking about. So on the first page, you'll see housing stock impact legislation, and that's just a defined term that means any legislation that would have an estimated impact on our housing stock. On the second page, you'll see the description you'll see the description on the first page, and on the second page, you'll see the quantitative analysis. This is how many units will be added or subtracted as a result of any impact legislation. This scorecard is to focus our attention every time on our unmet housing needs in the county. So you'll see 84 units added as a result of this budget decision. Land use changes would be scored the same way, and sometimes those mean a loss of units. Finally, the qualitative analysis explains how the 84 was arrived at. And I know it sounds technical because it's numbers, but each unit is a family who now has housing. I commend the chair's budget for this extraordinary commitment of funds, but I walk around homeless people sleeping on the sidewalks on the way to this building. We have more to do. People are asking me if I have change, and I do have change. We're getting ready to spend $3 million out of the general fund to make good on our promise. People want to know what we're doing, and a budget offer that's buried in 1,000 pages isn't doing that. These impact statements could be kept in a repository in the clerk's office, so every citizen would know exactly what we're doing and how we're staying focused on meeting our unmet housing needs in the county. So with that, I want to thank you for your accessibility, your interest, and just being so welcoming. And it's always a pleasure to see you. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Barb Payne, and I joined Mr. Cardinale as a co-founder of Smart ALEC and a longtime Portland activist. Since moving back to Portland in 2003, this is the first body I have had the privilege to address, so I'm happy to be here, and I'm really, really sympathetic to some of these meetings y'all have been going to in the evening, so I appreciate all your hard work. So I moved back to Multnomah County the first time in 1995 when rent was reasonable and I was an undergraduate at Portland State University. I lived in many parts of the county as an attempt to get to know the city and to get to know the county, which was my new home. So I moved back to Southeast Portland this last time in 2013, and I have not, as a full-time master's student at Portland State University in public administration, receiving financial aid and government assistance, I've not been able to find an apartment that is affordable, meaning that I am highly cost burdened. My mother and childhood friend are my roommates, who also cannot afford to live on their own with fixed incomes. And even though we occupy a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, the 3 of us are home challenged and are always a real step away from transitional housing. I commend the county for stepping up as well in this time of emergency to provide affordable housing programming. It's not done in a lot of cities across the country, so it's nice to see it being done at the county level. 84 families is a real number that can be quantified. Those are the types of numbers we want to keep striving for with Smart ALEC. The scorecard that Mr. Cardinale provided in the impact statement scorecard itself gives a mechanism to keep track of our progress regarding many more families and individuals who are in need better than transitional housing. And while the argument likes to be shied away from municipalities and governing bodies, there is no shame in declaring that housing is a fundamental human right, affecting every element of our lives, from our happiness to the environment to health and to the success of our own individual endeavors. Atlanta was the first city to adopt, with New Orleans, Pittsburgh, and Albany, New York already considering pending legislation. We're also working with the cities of Portland Portland and Seattle as well, and several jurisdictions in Georgia. If affordable impact housing statements are adopted by Multnomah County, you will be the first county board to do so, and to implement a level, sending a clear message to voters and developers that the future of development in Multnomah County will be prioritized by the needs of residents and families alone. So we look forward to working with you all in the future to bring more affordable housing to Multnomah County. I appreciate your time today.
Thank you.